Hello, Majestic Council. Greetings from Majestic. And this is part 2 of ignorance, what we was talking about in the last video. And I just want to continue on ignorance. And if you didn't watch the first video and then you get on this one first, I suggest you watch the first one first. But to summarize what I said in the last video, basically we were just talking about how ignorance is one of the biggest deceptions or finesses in this world, because ignorance will come or cause pride to make you debate or be oblivious to the whole world and the things, the pictures, the words, the just anything visual that you can see from the world that's new from the things that you was taught, brought up on, and understood. You don't want to leave that comfort area, that stagnant level of understanding and knowledge you already have in your calcified penile brain, so you just, anything that's new or foreign thought to you is considered wrong. That's just like how these people got mythology when you research what's the definition of it. It's basically anything foreign thought is not believable to them. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing the same. In the last video, I was saying how a lot of families back in the old times, it wasn't books. During the natives and all these times when the natives was around Florida and in the southern parts of what is now the United States of America. So before it was the Carolinas and Georgia and Florida and Alabama, it was something totally different. But even though Alabama comes from Alibaba, it's just they just changed one letter like they do with people. They just changed the skin. If you've noticed, all the truth, they just switch literally like one or two things. The picture and the way it stands, a picture is going to always be worth 1,000 words. Pictures are going to give you something books never can give you, you know, and that's complete and overall understanding. A book can just give you details on something, but a picture is going to give you the whole 360 perspective on whatever the subject is of the time being. But back to ignorance. I think the problem that I want to speak on today now with ignorance is, I think that, yes, you should believe in things that your family tells you. Whatever your family brought you up on, it could be one or two things. It could be native to your family, or it could be something that was forced on your great-great-grandparents. And now they just giving you down the BS cycle. Now, if you can read between the lines on A and B, what I just said, you'll kind of see where you coming from in your upbringing. Did you come from oral tradition or did you come from book tradition? Because to be honest, I think that is the standpoint. I think it's that. Matter of fact, I just got a brain blast. I think it's that. I think the problem is oral tradition kids versus book tradition kids now. I think the reason why we do have debates and certain things of that nature is the way people are brought up. And that's why people always bring up, watch how you treat your kids. Listen to what you're teaching to your kids. Look at what your kids are watching. Look at your kids' movements. Notice everything about your kid. And another thing I want to get on that, and it's not because of, I got this from the young elder actually, because a lot of times your kids will be ancestors from your people who done passed, like your great-grandma, your great-great-grandma who was a slave. And you probably living a better life according to her. So now she done used her soul to get into your daughter, so now she can bear the fruits of her labor that she set up from or tradition or whatever tradition y'all had before she left. I feel like it can be the same for everybody. People who have book tradition, if your family didn't start from that book and you can tell like, oh, we was only taught this because of this. If all you hear is, we was only taught this because of this, that's a problem. When I was younger, my grandma told me we was Baptist, and I asked her why. She gave me the full explanation on why we was Baptist and what they believed in and how it was different from Catholics and Christians and Gnostics and all that. My grandma really taught me that early. But at the end of the day, she said, it don't matter what I teach you and what the world teaches. She thought it was like, you're still Baptist. And I'm like, I hear you. And now that I got older, I'm just like, nah, grandma, I'm not Baptist. I'm not none of that. I'm everything. I look at everything, I read everything, because ain't no book is 100% right. And I think that's me getting out of my ignorance, because I was ignorant back then when she was saying all these things and I just believed it. I never read a book or tried to look up these things when my people was putting, and that's funny because one of my grandmas, the one I'm talking about now, was putting me onto baptism. But when I was in Oakland for the summers with my other grandparents, they was full-blown Christians. You know, so the churches are one and the same, but what they teach is two totally different things. It's one and the same, but the main point of that Holy Trinity, that triangle, is one person misplaced with the other. I think they called a bird the Holy Spirit, so I never got that. But in Baptist, my grandma was saying that. They were saying nobody is there. You're not putting something else, the Spirit. He don't come back. You know what I'm saying? And some people believe that God do come back. And my grandma said when you're Baptist, he already came one time. It's not coming again. And I'm like, that makes sense. Like, yeah, if in the beginning of the story of the Bible, he already had came, then that means the end already happened, and that when he left, that was the rebirth, because it says also in the Bible that he only comes one time. So I don't believe the end of the world the way it's put down there, because I believe that the world has done resetted. I think we're in the 6th great walk of life. So that means the world has resetted 6 to 7 times from my knowledge. So whatever you read happened 6-7 times already. So that's why I'm like, I can't put too much credence into it. And people who are oral tradition, you don't have a visual or a book to even get details of it. You have to really believe your family and what they're talking about. And it's another test when you have oral tradition, because then you have to take it upon yourself to go find that knowledge that was being brought down to you through oral tradition. And I think you would need a book to help you get in-depth information about your oral traditions. But people who read books would need oral traditions from their family to know what to read or what to look for. That's it. I'm just saying that instead of being in your circle and being constant and stagnant and thinking everything I've learned up to now is the end all be all, it's not. Because every day something gets proven wrong. Something gets, oh, that wasn't that. Oh, we lied, it was this. Or something was misspelled or mistooken for. That wasn't an A. Back then that was an R. We just made it sound like an A. So really the word is ra, not ah. And this, all these things gets dispelled and disproven. Just like we still get told in school that Christopher Columbus sailed here first, but even Google is saying that is cap. That's what I'm saying. We cannot take everybody, or just because it's people you love, sometimes the people we love be wrong too. So you have to get oral tradition plus book knowledge. You just cannot have one and the other. You have to get both to get the whole perspective. That's all I wanted on ignorance. I didn't want to get too much on it because I wasn't trying to get on ignorant people. I was just talking about what ignorance means in the grand universal scheme of things. So I hope y'all understood that, and more videos will be coming soon. Majestic Council, Majestic out.